Hi guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Niels van Roij. I'm a car designer and today I'm gonna look at the Arrival van standing here in front of us. Second video on the Arrival van. Please do tune in to the first video if you're interested in what these guys are doing in England. But without any further ado, let's start with this second video, a bit more in depth on exterior design, interior design, and a lot more.
Hi, I'm Patrick Beon, Chief of Product here at Arrival, leading our van programs. Here today in Banbury, our R&D centre here in the UK. Really want to give you an insight into the design of our latest van product. So everything we do at Arrival is designed to make sure that we can offer fleets vehicles not only at a price comparable to that of diesel competitors, but actually we design everything from the ground up. So the platform architecture, the components, the body structure, the materials, and the software that powers our vehicles.
That's important to mention because that is not an easy job. Normally OEMs are buying in from specialist companies doing just that. They're doing human-machine interface, so the stuff on the screen, let's say. They are doing seat systems like the folding rear seats in an MPV or something like that, or a station car. The fact they managed to do this in a small startup company, yeah, something special.
To make sure that we can make a vehicle which is not only more efficient in its cargo volume, its payload, but that we can really target technologies and features specified and optimized for commercial fleets. The problems that I've mentioned that we've solved in terms of the materials technologies, the platform architecture is not only more efficient in its cargo volume, its payload, but that we can really target technologies and features specified and optimized for commercial fleets. So the problems that I've mentioned that we've solved in terms of the materials technologies, the platform architecture, the components, everything we do it to enable scalability. We know that for big fleets, servicing and the daily checks in the vehicle are really important, and we want to speed those up as quickly as possible. We have a single integrated point for all service connections here at the front of the vehicle, all of the coolant, brake fluid, windshield reservoir, all in a single place.
Really clever thinking here. There was one car from Germany, maybe you know, a couple of years ago. Does it ring a bell? That had a feature like this. The Audi A2. The only car that I'm aware of, please correct me if I'm wrong and let me know in the comments below, but the only production car in recent years that had that. Basically in the what you could call a grille graphic. It wasn't a real grille, it was a piece of closed plastic with the Audi logos on top. You could open that up and you know, this was quite something serious in my point of view, and they're missing the boat because they're not doing this anymore, because filling up your fluid, your wiper fluids, you wouldn't get dirty hands because the thing was nowhere near the engine. The bonnet couldn't come off of an A2, well, only at the dealership, but you couldn't do that at home, you know, yourself. So you could just flip that opening open and fill up the fluid and not have any dirty hands. I mean, how premium is that, right? That A, you don't see that dirty engine anymore, and B, just filling up the wiper fluid, you don't want to get dirty hands. This is the same. So this is great for the fleet manager as well, because normally there are all sort of protocols, you know, you can't open the bonnet because, oh my God, you might touch something you shouldn't touch. So no, this is for the car mechanics. So filling up the wiper fluid is now something that anybody and everybody can do. The drivers can do themselves because it's a simple opening, you fill it up and you can close it and that's it. Really clever car design. Great thinking and well executed. You see this beautiful brow that we discussed in the first video with the carryover parts, the headlights. Please do have a look at that first video if you haven't seen that yet. But this is a school example of how to integrate off-the-shelf parts smartly and create, literally in this case, your own face. Nicely done.
The software is equally as important. So all of our vehicles are fully connected and therefore benefit from over-the-air updates for the life of the vehicle. So the over-the-air updates and the connectivity give us the ability to monitor some of the key health aspects of this vehicle. It's thermal management system, battery management system, powertrain, door status, etc. So not only can we monitor the health, but we can forecast what issues we're seeing in the vehicle. We offer a number of different heights and lengths. So we have 3 heights of vehicle, a 2.7, a again, built around that process of walking on and off the vehicle 200 times a day, a 2.4.
I'm going to refer to that first video again. I told you there I was part of the team for the Future London Taxi in London about 10 years ago, a bit less. I did a project there, very interesting. Could do a video on that if you would be interested in that. But the reason I'm thinking of this project is because he refers to the 200 times going in and out of the vehicle. This is clearly something coming from research stuff we did for that taxi project too, and something they've integrated into the design of this car, I'm pretty sure. So let's have a look at this video and see what they've done to make egress, getting in and out of a van in this case, better.
And then a sub 2 meter roof height for our customers that need vehicles in urban areas, multi-story car parks, etc. Battery pack in the center of the floor for a low center of gravity. So this vehicle here, 5.8 meters long, 14 cubic meters cargo capacity. Again, that we make sure that every vehicle we offer has greater cargo capacity over the footprint of the vehicle compared to any other vehicle available. This is a thermoplastic composite body structure. We want to be able to bring a number of different vehicle lengths, heights, and configurations to customers around the world quickly. And to do that in a cost and a time-efficient way means that we have to really rethink the traditional processes used in body structure. So where traditional vehicles are using complex, expensive, high-pressure stamped metals, which are then painted, we have built a new body structure entirely and a new proprietary material from the ground up.
Again, this links very much again to that taxi project I worked on. A similar setup, basically built like a bus, a city bus, right? And body cladding, if you like. So you put the plastics on in this case, which are more durable, they're easier to manufacture. You can imagine stamping aside. It comes from a roll. There has to be unrolled, a roll of aluminium or metal, whatever. It's then being stamped. There's a lot of waste because of the waste metal coming out of the stamp is being recycled, of course, but you have to put it in a lorry again, drive it back to the factory, blah, 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 blah. They don't do this. They have a new way of doing the manufacturing of their vans, and also replacing a interior or an exterior element. I mean, a body part. Very easy to do in cases like this. So interesting work.
All of these panels are fully recyclable. So at end of life, or in the instance that we do need to replace a panel, we're taking this part, putting it through a recycling process, and really finally bringing a circular economy to body structures. So I'd like to show you a few of the really special features about this product. So we've integrated a set of hardware to enable a lot of safety features that are becoming quite accustomed on passenger vehicles, not necessarily commercial vehicles. So here we have 2 cameras at the front, 2 on either side, 1 at the back, and combining that with a set of ultrasonic sensors around the vehicle and radars front and rear. The data coming from these cameras can be used by fleets in a lot of different ways, such as security warnings, insurance claims. Effectively, we have a black box in the vehicle. Also means that for fleets where insurance claims and damage is a big problem for them, we have the ability to not only warn the driver and the fleet as to when something's happened in the vehicle, whether it's a crash or a security threat, but something really important for this vehicle is its upgradability. We want to make sure that that vehicle, when it leaves our factory, only gets better over time. So all of our vehicles, as standard, have over-the-air updates. That means that we can...
Sure, Tesla has this too, but there are still loads of manufacturers that clearly don't care enough about their customers. And in new, modern, expensive vehicles, I won't mention too many brands, but I know of people driving an expensive new car and their navigation system is still not updated because the brand refuses to do that. Even like, let alone over the air, but you have to drive to the dealership, buy a USB stick, plug it in. I mean, we're not from 1930 anymore, like, come on guys, this is possible. So many new brands are doing this. Large OEMs need to wake up and do this kind of stuff because that's what people want and it functions so much better. Anyway, let's continue without any more rants and continue with Arrival.
Improve its efficiency, its performance, and bring new features into the vehicle. We created a number of different solutions for fleets to use for security in their vehicles. You can use mobile phone or key fob or an NFC device. And we use that with these touch points. So the driver Its proximity is detected, coming in, touching that touch point, releases the door. Whether a driver's carrying a box, it's wet, it's raining, he's wearing gloves, doesn't matter. Release the door with the touch point. This door's then really easily just sliding forward and back.
Important stuff again, you know. It maybe all seems super logical and yeah, whatever, a touch thing, but not one OEM is doing this. You know, Peugeot with their vans, or Mercedes-Benz with their vans, or Volkswagen, doesn't matter. Ford, you know, none of them have actually thought about those people working with your product, getting in the rain, with their hands full, trying to open a door, juggle 5 boxes around and trying to open a slide door or a front door or whatever. They're doing this. So proper research done in a way that it should have been done and integrated in the product design in the way it should have been integrated. Great job.
And that gives you this really compelling aperture. This floor height is around about 200 millimeters lower than competitive diesel vehicles. So not only does that bring you much bigger cargo capacity over the footprint of this vehicle, but it means that for getting in and out, it's a really seamless process. So let's come in and I'll show you some of the key features on the interior.
Placement of the grab handle. You maybe think, well, yeah, it's just a grab handle, isn't it? Again, when I was doing this taxi project, let me know if you want more information on that in the comments below. When I was doing this taxi project, we did a lot of tests in the back, like a wooden construction looking like the taxi we were working on. Where does this grab handle need to be? How high, how low, which type of angle, which type of person would grab it? And, you know, there's endless hours of research in this kind of stuff. Well done again.
So by designing the vehicle from the ground up, we've really managed to exploit a few benefits in this vehicle. We've pushed the driver as far forward as possible, we've pushed the dash line very low down, and we've opened up this very expansive visibility from the driver's seat. Of course, getting that driver far forward as well just maximizes that cargo capacity I've talked to you about. So design.
I used to be a taxi driver when I was younger, and I was a design student. I used to drive Sprinters, the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van, mainly for elderly people, disabled people. So there was a wheelchair lift in the back, and I was driving elderly people around. Looking at this, look at that steering wheel. Normally there is a dashboard on top. We're talking about a foot, 30 centimeters of difference of visibility where you want it, where you need it. Because if that dashboard is up there, you know, you cannot look over the nose, the bonnet, but there's not a big engine there, you know, sort of the size of a small table, even a small 4-pot diesel engine. Electric engine is about the size of a watermelon, so pushing everything down that floor and push the driver forward because that big block isn't there anymore. And really making a car that is so much better, a van in this case, so much better for those that are using it. Really well done.
The vehicle to make sure that the driver's got as fewer distractions and interactions as possible. We believe that the most seamless experience is the safest one. So we have 3 forms of control. Here on the steering wheel we have these directional pads, and they're used for audio, GPS, voice control, etc. And then we use stalks for gear select, park, reverse, neutral drive, lights and wipers. And we combine that with voice control, which we want drivers to use as much as possible. And importantly, this content can be customized for vehicles for different customers. So we want to make sure that if there's any third-party app, any other functionality that fleets are using, they can integrate it directly into their vehicle. And so for the walk-in configuration here, we have this raised pedestal and a flat floor, as I mentioned, running from the front of the vehicle all the way through to the back. Really trying to make sure that anything fleets need, the ways in which they're going to utilize this vehicle, is catered for as simply and as low cost as possible. So here you see one form of the rear door. We have a powered roller shutter, again activated by a capacitive touch point, so the driver doesn't need to have their hands free to operate the door. Everything we do at arrival is focused at making sure that fleets no longer have to choose between a compromised product or paying a premium in order to bring electric vehicles into their businesses.
So right before the video ends, let's have a quick look at the side view of this car. Let's have a look at the bottom, which is black strip. That is obviously the strip where you would put your foot if you walk into the side or the front of the van. Follow that shut line upwards where it gets this lovely angle, curves upwards 90 degrees, creates another shut line, or basically is the same shut line going upwards, but it creates also the place where this horizontal shut line is above the tail light, with this nice facet, distracting from the fact that actually up there is a shut line that makes it possible to remove and replace only the low panel in case of damage, right? A little fender bender. A normal van, you have to replace the entire side, which is an expensive piece of pressed metal that has to be painted, all the stuff that they said. This is very cleverly done with shut lines hidden where you want to not see them, give also some facets to that body side so it's a bit stronger. You know, this thing is full of clever ideas. It looks great, it's well proportioned, the wheels sit well into the body. This van is obviously rather light, so you don't see the wheel wells that much, but it's a beautiful piece of design on all levels. It's smart, it's clever use of materials, it's great ergonomics. You know, it's a very own face, friendly appearance, a recognizable appearance, really well done. And please let me know below if you agree or disagree with me. What do you think of Arrival? What do you think of this type of video? I'm very much interested in another Arrival video, so let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. Would you like to see more of this kind of stuff? Feel free to share it in the WhatsApp of your car guys and girls group, on your own Facebook. You know, let's have the conversation going. And please do consider subscribing if you've enjoyed this video and you aren't yet subscribed. I can see quite a few people are tuning in that aren't yet subscribed. So please do that if you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next week for another car design review. Cheers!